Hi, this is Mark Cook with Twisted Throttle. Welcome. This is kind of a special edition of the videos we do to support our project bikes. We've got a Ninja 400 here with a lot of R&G product. And what makes this special is I get to spend a little bit of time with Simon Hughes of R&G. So I know that R&G has a fairly well-developed process and philosophy about how to do bike protection. What is that sort of overarching philosophy? How do you approach bike protection?
We try to tap into the core products, the crash protection, frame sliders, radiator guard, engine case covers, and then depending on the model, there could be as many as 15 other products. In the old days we could have a bike and after 2 days we were finished. Now it can take a week or two.
When you're putting together a protection package, you're kind of looking at all the ways a bike could crash, which is kind of interesting and sad at the same time, and building product around that.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, there are so many different types of crash. We can't foresee every type, but in a normal slide, the crash protection should save a lot of money, and that's why we're in business and that's why it's growing. But we're seeing different trends. You know, people don't want to drill their fairings as often as in the past, so we're doing no-cut frame sliders, and there are adventure bars now in our range because of the market trend towards adventure riding, where we can't put a frame slider on. So we try to keep up with all that as well, but also be at the forefront.
Absolutely. So I noticed that you know, you have some products that kind of have a dual purpose. They have a protection product.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of like the cotton reels, for example, that it's a maintenance item and a protection item.
Yeah.
Do you try to do that wherever you can?
Yeah, we do. The cotton reels, the offset cotton reels, the radiator guards, you know, it's not just for the protection, but it's also to enhance the looks. It can be actually to keep dirt off, but it can also be obviously to keep stones from breaking an expensive radiator. So yeah, dual purpose, definitely.
So I noticed too that for a lot of these products you come up with multiple colors. What's the thinking behind that, and how do you decide which colors for which bikes? Basically,
some people want the thing to blend in, so black is the obvious choice in most cases, but we're finding more and more that people want to actually, you know, for example, the radiator guards or the downpipe grills, they want people to actually see that they've accessorized the bike. So we have products that actually match the bike: reds, blues, greens.
So Simon, we were talking about the protective gear, but I noticed that you have an increasing number of what could be called, you know, sort of cosmetic functional items in the catalog.
Yeah, we do.
Talk me through that.
Yeah, well, it just makes sense because, you know, protected the bike, but people want styling products. We've got the exhaust hangers now with the blanking plate for the other side. Tail tidies are a massive part of our business, and obviously purely for styling. There's also the yoke plug as well, so we're filling gaps, keeping the bike looking good. It's quite practical as well.
Now I noticed that our Ninja 400 has the race series engine case covers. Talk me through that a little bit.
Yeah, basically, depending on the type of bike, we have engine case covers for a lot of bikes, but the ones that have the race series, which is with the extra skidder, are the bikes that are likely to find their way onto the track. If they're going to go on the track, if they crash, they're likely to slide a little bit further than in a road crash. So we put that extra little piece of meat on there so it can slide for a couple more seconds before it inevitably wears through. So, and those pucks are actually replaceable.
So that's nice if you have, say, a low-speed low side or something where it doesn't actually get through the main case.
Yeah, you might be lucky and just have to change the skidder.
Obviously, the Ninja 400 is a relatively new bike. We got it last year. Yep. Obviously, getting the parts to the bike and designing parts of the bike is a fairly strenuous activity. Why don't you walk me through what your process is?
Well, it's a constant challenge trying to keep up with all the different bikes coming in and all the competing priorities that we have. So we have an engineering team that's growing all the time. Depending on whether we've got the bike physically or not, if the bike's in, then we'll all gather around the bike and have a meeting and decide what core products there are and what we can take to the next level. And we try to protect it from front to back, as well as doing those styling products that we talked about. We've got 3D printers, 3 of those, 3D scanner, all the latest machines. We make prototypes, test fit them, lay the bike down to check that it's going to do the job that it's intended for.
So you mentioned you have a scanner and a 3D printer. That tells me that you can do pretty rapid prototyping and get stuff to market pretty quickly.
Yeah, it's always very good to get it to market quickly. The dealers and the end users, that's what they want. We don't want to be taking 6 months or something, and people buy a bike and there's that initial buzz where they want to accessorize it and protect it. So we try to bring everything out as quickly as possible. The engine case covers, for example, can be out in a matter of weeks because they're vacuum formed yeah, as we've invested in the right equipment, we can come to market and start the marketing really quickly. Some products we can bring them out in 2 or 3 weeks. Some of them can take 6 or 7 weeks, something like that.
But it is important to keep up. There's a lot of change, especially sport bikes these days, ADV bikes, there's a lot of change going on. So
it's amazing. Yeah, I mean, sometimes people think, oh, frame slider, how can it change very much? But every single one's different, every single kit. We don't change it for the sake of it, right. But it just requires a change every time.
Yeah, and all Kawasaki has to do is move a piece of plastic 4 millimeters.
Yep.
It's like, oh, come on, guys.
Exactly right.
Let's take a moment and look at the bike right in front of us. This is our Ninja 400 project bike. A lot of cool product on here. We have, actually we don't have them on here because we're going to ride it on the street.
Oh, the mirror blanking
we
plates.
We have mirror blanking plates that we have. But basically starting from the front, we have a radiator guard. And obviously from the protective side of things, we have frame sliders. As we mentioned earlier, we have the engine case covers, which are the race spec. All right, so as we go back, we have the tank traction grips. We have a tank protector back here, all right? And we actually have boot guards on here as well. So there's lots of ways to kind of keep the rider-bike interface from making either one look worse.
Yeah, the boot guard is something that we thought, why doesn't anybody do this? Because we see so often a fantastic bike, you know, $25,000 bike or something, and it's got scratches where the rider's heel has moved, where the swing arm has rubbed on the heel, and it's rubbed away the paint, and it's such a shame. Such an inexpensive product can prevent that problem.
So we also have a tail tidy on this. We have a
shock tube.
Shock tube, that's right. And we have cotton reels on the back.
Yep.
So we're really pretty well protected. And the cool thing I like about this bike, it's black. We've gone all black on the products.
Yeah, sleek.
So it really looks sleek. You can see the products, they're really nice looking, but it really doesn't call attention to itself. And if you walk really quickly by this bike, you kind of think it's stock.
Yeah.
But it's not. It's pretty well protected. So
yeah, our priority has always been the protection side of it more than the bling, as is evidenced here, I think. Yeah, that's why we're still in business, and after 20 years we're still protecting bikes all around the world.
So what we've been able to do with our Ninja 400 is add a lot of protection and kind of bling in its own way. Of course, if you have a different color bike, you can make this contrasting and make it look pretty good. Yep. And kind of do what you want with it. And I know a lot of the products, you have multiple color choices here, so really there's an option to make it kind of your own. But this is a bike that if it fell over in the parking lot today, oh, we forgot the bar end sliders.
Oh, we did.
If it fell over in the parking lot today, it's like, yeah, we really wouldn't shed a tear because it's probably pretty well protected.
Yep.
And that's kind of the whole idea of what RNG does.
Absolutely. I mean, we even do videos now of us crashing bikes on purpose. You know, that's how confident we are in the product.
Well, Simon, thank you very much for dropping by. I appreciate it. And you can see more about our Ninja 400 project bike at TwistedThrottle.com. Thanks for watching.
Thank you.